is the season for all your holiday favorites, like A Very Jonas Christmas Movie and Home Alone on Disney+.
Should I burn down the joint? I don't think so.
Then Hulu has National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
We're all in for a very big Christmas treat.
All of these and more streaming this holiday season. And right now, save big with our special Black Friday offer. Bundle Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 1 year. Savings compared to current regular monthly price. Ends 12/1. Offer for ad-supported Disney Plus Hulu bundle only. Then $12.99 a month or then current regular monthly price. 18 plus terms apply.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the individuals participating in the show. All persons described or mentioned in the podcast should be considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This podcast contains subject matter such as violence and graphic descriptions along with adult language, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
On November 25th, 1997, in Eureka, California, a young girl is seen leaving the Bayshore Mall heading west towards Sonoma Street. She is never seen again. Though there were reports of her getting into a car, no trace of her was left behind. What really happened, and will she ever be found? You're listening to the Mysterious Bruce Podcast, and tonight we bring you the case of Karen Mitchell.
Welcome to a deep, dark, dank, moist basement somewhere in the bowels of Georgia. Well, we set a record, I think, yesterday for high temperature, and a week prior to that, we almost set a record for low temperature. So welcome to Georgia, boys.
Ridiculous, man. Like, right before we started, I had turned my the AC on in the house. Like, it's November 23rd. It's the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and you're turning the air conditioner on? That's a crime.
Well, we attempted to partake in the opening day of duck season around here, me and another guy, and it was 71 degrees when we stepped out of the truck. And then we got set up, us and 12 of our closest bud. No, I'm just joking. There was a lot of people on this lake, and it was Plan B. And so we got set up. We wasn't encroaching on anybody. And we kept seeing this flash, and where we're at, it's a power lake. And I was like, is that like the cell tower up there on the upper reservoir? But it wasn't in exact intervals. And so we had like one bar of service. So like 10 minutes later, we pulled up the weather radar came up, and no, that was not. That was a thunderstorm coming from Alabama headed our way. And so we were like, oh, you know what? We are old enough to know better. So we just packed our shit up and rode to Waffle House and ate breakfast and then went home.
I don't blame you. It's too damn early to do. I can't hunt. I'm not good at it.
Dude, it was, I think we got,
early. I'm not able to function at that hour.
I think we got 3/4 of an inch of rain in an hour and a half.
Yeah. I was in Alabama, so I don't know. It must have missed us.
No, it was coming from Anniston, so you was further north and west.
Yeah, sure was.
So, yeah, it was moving at a good clip, and then by the time we got to the old Waffle House, it had kind of slowed down, and it dumped on that lake. I was like, man, I'm so glad we're sitting here drinking coffee and eating instead of suffering through a thunderstorm on the opening day of duck season. So I believe it's back in the 50s and lows in the 30s by Wednesday night. So
something like that. Yeah, it's 49 on Thanksgiving. I know that. I think the high is 49 on Thanksgiving.
I know we went this morning and there was a 20-degree difference. I actually had to put a coat on this morning.
It's ridiculous, man. I don't like the differences. If it's going to be hot, be hot. If you're going to be cold, be cold. But I don't like cold in the morning and then freaking hot in the afternoon. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I don't like this bipolar weather we have down here.
Don't make me carry my jacket into the car, you know?
Yeah, I have flashbacks of being a kid. I got to stuff that thing in my backpack, and then if I leave it, I'm getting a whipping.
Yeah.
Fun times. All right. No news on the Patreon or 5-star review front. So we are going to jump head first into this Thanksgiving Day mystery.
Well, is it Thanksgiving Day? Because I was listening during my research, I was listening to a podcast and it said on Tuesday, November 25th, Thanksgiving Day. When did we have Thanksgiving on Tuesdays? Or did they just misspoke?
They may have misspoke. I have not looked up when November 25th of 1997 of our Lord was. Let's see if we can figure it out on the fly. No, it's not going to let me. So you may Google it as I start to partake in the, now my computer's saying, you're an idiot. No, I don't want to.
Thanksgiving Day was Thursday, November 27th of 1997. So it was not Thanksgiving Day.
So it was 2 days prior.
2 days prior, yes.
Yes. All right. So this week, like I said, we are diving into a little Thanksgiving mystery. We're headed to Eureka, California, which is a city in the county seat of Humboldt County. And if you know anything about the Emerald Triangle on the north coast of California, you know where Humboldt's at.
Yeah, buddy.
And the Emerald Triangle, for those of you that don't know, is best known for its marijuana farming. It is also known for its missing persons rate. And I know this is a shocker. When you have illegal grows, the missing persons rate up there in that there Humboldt County is twice the national average.
Twice?
Twice. So Eureka is located about 100 miles south of the Oregon border, and as of the 2020 census, because I couldn't find the latest one, the population was around 26,000 people. Eureka is the largest coastal city between San Francisco and Portland. Now, Karen Marie Mitchell disappeared in the November of 1997 and is listed on NamUs as a white female with a date of last contact as that Tuesday that Coach spoke about, November 25th, 1997, just a mere 5 days before her 17th birthday, which would make her 16 years old at the time she went missing. And she would be approximately, I think exactly, 44 on the 30th of this November. And she stands at 5 foot 5 inches tall, weighs 130 pounds. At the time she went missing, she was last seen on Broadway across from the Bayshore Mall in Eureka. She has greenish blue eyes as well as sandy colored hair. Last seen wearing a tan long sleeve top, brown pants, leather shoes, a silver necklace with 3 silver rings, small hoop earrings, and some sites that you visit have her with a piercing in her lower lip. It was very new back in the 1997. Now, she was born on November 30th, 1980. Her parents divorced shortly after she was born, and she grew up in Whittier. Pretty sure I nailed that one. California. With her mother.
You got it. That's what I heard.
Yeah. With her mother, Mary Casper, and her brother, James. She had moved to Eureka to live with her aunt and uncle when she was 13 because her mom thought it was a, quote, safer place for a teenager to live, end quote. Other sites and message boards list the move was due to Karen started getting into a little trouble in Whittier, and her mom felt like she was falling in with the bad crowd, and so a change of scenery was going to help her get on the straight and narrow. Karen's mom was a young mother, having Karen's brother James when she was just 16, and Karen followed when she was 18. Now, at the time, her mom was working and not home most days until around 6 p.m. So she grew up just like the rest of us with the latchkey.
Oh, yeah.
Friends and family described this time of Karen's life as her beginning to embrace the quote-unquote hippie lifestyle. Now, during the holidays
in California, no way.
I know that's hard to imagine.
I don't believe it.
I know. But I'm going to need you to just grasp.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Okay. So during the holidays and summer vacation, she returned to Whittier to spend time with her mom and her brother. And from what I could find, she was a very good student, with her mom saying that she had mostly A's. She planned on graduating early, hoping to study law or political science at Humboldt State University. Now, Karen was described as a very independent, very strong-willed, and also very smart young lady. Her aunt, Annie Casper, stated that she was opinionated, but she had an agenda and she wanted to help change the world. Her mom, Mary, said, quote, "We were talking about plans for the summer. We were going to take some college courses together. We were actually filling out the paperwork that morning. We were busy girls," end quote. So on Tuesday,
so this ain't a girl you're gonna think's gonna run away.
No.
This girl's making plans. This girl's, she's plotting her future.
And the thing is, like, between 13 and 16, I guess at 13, maybe she started having some friends that she just didn't approve of, but it doesn't sound like she was staying out all night or smoking devil's lettuce or none of that stuff. So Tuesday afternoon, the 25th of November, 1997, Karen found herself on her second day of her Thanksgiving break, which corresponds with the Tuesday. She was also helping out her aunt's shoe store, or at her aunt's shoe store, Annie's Shoes at the Bayshore Mall. Karen also had her own job later that afternoon at a care center at 2:45 p.m. So basically, a little bit before 2:45, she is walking down one of the main streets with the mall on one side, and it says a lot of homes on the other, but it sounds like it was kind of like a neighborhood, not like houses every so often, but it was actually a neighborhood on the other side of the street. So later that evening, her Aunt Annie went to the Coastal Family Development Center to pick Karen up. And when she pulls into the parking lot, she notices that the lights are out. And she goes up there and there's a staff member and says, "Hey, Karen didn't make it in today." And Annie is dumbfounded. Now, a former police officer would later tell investigators that he had to slam on his brakes to avoid hitting a car. And then he witnesses a girl who resembled Karen getting into said vehicle. And that vehicle was a light blue 1977 Ford Granada with California license plates and the word Eureka imprinted on a license plate frame. Now, some of the articles that I saw state that he was not the only witness, but he was the main witness. And since he was a former police officer, his name is put out there because he was a quote unquote trained observer.
Yeah, it's a pretty credible eyewitness.
Yes. And if you know that there's a license plate holder with the word Eureka on it, you're paying pretty good attention. Now, there are actually two potential cars that the car in question could have been. In the 70s, 80s, and up until, I guess, almost 2000, Ford would release a lot of different versions of their cars under the Mercury name. The Mercury Montero and the Ford Granada were basically the same car. What is not discussed in the article that I could find is if the guy remembered the license plate. But you would assume, and I know that's dangerous, that if he knew that it had the word Eureka around it, he probably got the license plate. We do have him stating that the female in question getting into the car was someone who, quote unquote, resembled Karen. So this could all be unrelated. But you would think that law enforcement would have been able to track down the vehicle in question and figure out, hey, are you the owner of this car? Did you let someone use it? There's a guy that almost hit you, said a girl got into it and she's now missing. But that detail I cannot find. Local law enforcement reached out to the FBI, and the FBI was basically like, we can't help because even though there's a missing persons report, it sounds like the only information you have to go off of, she willingly got into that car. And if she willingly got into that car at that age, she did it on her own.
At 16?
That's what I had read. And the FBI was very adamant about, yes, it is a missing persons case, but that basically until they could find something that said that she was taken against her will, they were just going to leave it up to local law enforcement. They would kind of stay in the back and help them with any kind of evidence they collected, but basically they would not come in and take over.
That's crazy.
Another witness believes that Karen was possibly getting into a vehicle being driven by a white male. Now, the vehicle that this one described was not a Montero, but a Mercury Monarch. But they also said that it could have been a Ford Granada, so we may be dealing with the same car. And they said that this one was light blue, 76 to a 1978 model. It had California license plate. It also had a holder with Eureka around it, so it sounds real familiar. But they said that the guy that was driving this one was a 60 to 70-year-old white male with light gray or sandy blonde hair and balding, green or gray eyes, short with a small build. He had a large nose that had likely been broken in the past, and he wore prescription-type eyeglasses. He was wearing a light blue long-sleeve button-up collared shirt. Now, this description is not tied to the one that the police officer gave, so these are two independent descriptions. Now, a composite sketch was run in the local press, and Karen's family put this sketch on all of the missing persons flyers that they distributed. And we'll put a copy of this on our socials. But the composite, we later find out, was not from the police officer and not from this individual, but it was a conglomeration of 5 or 6 different people that saw her getting into the car. So the Eureka police and the sheriff's department got off to a slow start, taking a report from Karen's family the night she disappeared and only launching a search 3 days later after Thanksgiving. So they don't do anything. So she's last seen on that Tuesday before Thanksgiving. They wait 3 days after Thanksgiving before they start looking for her. Now, several detectives, dozens of volunteers, a search and rescue team, and search dogs were used in the initial search. An article published in the Press Democrat in December of 1997 states, quote, "For Bill Casper, the disappearance last week of his 17-year-old niece, Karen Mitchell, is especially chilling."
Do you think that the drug dogs are more effective when it's an urban type of environment? You think they're less effective, or what? What's your opinion there? I would think
in Humboldt County,
more smells
in Humboldt County.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, yeah, true, but I'm saying like she was in a mall. She was in the mall. So let's think of a typical mall in the 90s. Food court. So it's people that are coming in and out are going to kind of smell similar, don't you think?
I would agree.
But I mean, of course, we both know how much more advanced dogs are when it comes to smelling things, but.
Yes.
I wonder if it affected their abilities. I don't know. I'm just curious, man. I'm just a curious guy.
Odd Thoughts by Jack Coach Handy. The article goes on to state that Casper said that, it says that Casper is the legal guardian for Mitchell, who has lived with him and his wife for 3.5 years. He's also the chief. Get this. Her uncle was the chief criminologist for the State Department of Justice Crime Lab in Eureka, where he analyzed blood, bodily fluid, and other evidence, often found at North Coast crime scenes. Article goes on to state investigators have little to go on. According to Ari Millsap, Eureka's police chief, quote, "We don't have any concrete evidence she's a runaway or she's been abducted or she's joined some group or whatever. There's no indication of actual violence with this young lady. We can only assume things at this point. Her uncle says, I believe she's been abducted. With her activities, focus, and goals over the last 6 months, her missing right now is totally out of character." When Casper's wife called to say Mitchell never showed up for work, Casper put his experience to work. Quote, "My first initial instinct was something is wrong, and within an hour I filed a missing persons report." So if that is to be believed, they just sat on it the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Now, a search of the nearby woods or wooded area conducted by police and volunteers netted no clues. In May of 1999, the Press Democrat would write about the case again, saying, quote, "A tipster told police that he had to slam on his brakes to avoid hitting a car that was pipping. We're pipping.
Was pipping?
We're pipping. Picking up a girl that resembled Mitchell. The car was described as a light blue Ford Granada or Mercury Monarch from the mid-1970s. Authorities searched through a list of 1,200 vehicle registrations, contacting owners of similar cars throughout Northern California, but failed to get a solid lead. The Journal News in August of 2003 runs a headline, quote, and this is where the rabbit hole starts to open up. Quote, Robert Durst may have played a role in the disappearance of 2 teenage girls in 1997. 18-year-old Kristen Modafferi in San Francisco and 16-year-old Karen Mitchell in Eureka.
Hey, Robert Durst, like the Jinx?
Yeah, buddy.
No.
Yes, sir. Information linking Durst to the 2 California cases was first reported in Publicity for the paperback edition of A Deadly Secret, written by Matt Burke. The book is about the Durst saga. So Matt does make some connections that Durst did live and had a home 30 miles north of where Karen was living. We know he's up there around the time that Karen goes missing, but Matt is claiming that there are some credit card transaction receipts that put Durst in the area at the same time she went missing. Kristen Modafferi's case might be related to Durst, and her case has been covered extremely well by plenty of other media out there that you could peruse if you wanted to learn more about it. I think there's actually a dedicated podcast to her case. She was last seen on June 23rd, 1997 at the Crocker Galleria Mall in downtown San Francisco. Same year, actually just a few months before Karen's disappearance. She had just finished her shift at Spinelli's coffee shop, but never returned home in Oakland. She has not been seen or heard from since. She was last seen wearing a black Smells t-shirt. That is a brand. I had to look that up.
Smells?
Smells. It was the rage back then. We were just not cool enough to have Smells t-shirts down here in Georgia.
I was about to say, bro, if I was right, I was in high school during this time, so if there was a brand like that, I would have at least known about it. I wouldn't have worn it. I wore like whatever shirts I could find.
She was also wearing tan pants and a dark blue plaid flannel shirt. Kristen was also carrying a dark green JanSport backpack. Now, Robert Durst is linked to the 1971 disappearance of Lynn Schultz, another young lady, and this time an 18-year-old. Robert just so happened to own a place called All Good Things, and it was a health food store in Middlebury, Vermont, and this shop also happened to be the last place that Miss Schultz stopped before she disappeared. In 2015, the Middlebury Police Department officially stated, quote, "We are aware of the connection between Robert Durst and the disappearance of Lynn Schultz. We've been aware of this connection for several years and have been working with various outside agencies as we follow this lead," end quote. Now, what we don't know is when Durst became a suspect. We do have Karen's aunt stating in December of 2001, quote, "Durst's been in our store twice, which I thought was kind of odd." She goes on to say, according to a former store employee, he was dressed as a woman when he was in there.
That's nice.
And if you have seen the documentary Jinx on Mr. Durst, it is not out of the realm of possibility that he was cross-dressing. The question is...
Look, don't be critical, man. That stuff's just comfortable. We can't help it.
Are you a high-rise guy or are you a low-rise guy?
Well, I don't know what that means, so I guess my cat's out of the bag. I don't really cross-dress. What the hell does that even mean?
You wear them up over your hips or down there below your hip bones?
Oh, definitely show my hip bones. I got to show my butt crack off, man.
I was about to say, all the good girls, they show them hip bones off, and you got your little heart down there where you've been in a tanning bed.
Yeah, that's right. Get you that little Playboy bunny.
Yeah. I know that's you, right. Boy. I know you. I know your kind. So the question is, could Durst have traveled to Eureka which, yeah, duh. He's got a home just 30 minutes away. I mean, that was a no-brainer. That was in that article. The only thing that I could find is we don't know if Karen was actually working at the shoe store at the time Durst comes in dressed as a woman. They make a big deal in that article. They ask not that question. They ask, was he shopping for men's shoes or women's shoes? And I'm like, well, if he was wearing a fucking dress, I bet he was not looking for wingtips.
These are for my husband.
Excuse me, ma'am, your Adam's apple's showing. Karen Mitchell would come up again in 1999 when the murder of 3 people occurred. 2 bodies were found in the trunk of one of the deceased's burnt-out car. Carol Sund, 42, her daughter Julie Sund, 15, and Julie's friend Silvina Peloso, 16, were the 3 found murdered. Karen's name kind of circulates in this investigation because they thought that she could possibly be a victim of the same person that killed these 3 women. This case would be solved when it was learned that Carrie Stainer was the culprit. He was like, no, this was I don't know who Karen is. They called him the Yosemite sightseer murderer. And if you want to look up that case, it is just search Yosemite sightseer murders. He kills those 3 girls and sets their car on fire, and their remains were so heavily burnt that they had to wait. God, I think it was something, and I know DNA was new back then, but I think it was something like 10 months before they made a positive identification of those 3.
Oh, wow.
Later in 1999, you would see Karen's name come up again in a case when Wayne Adam Ford walked into the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department and confessed to killing 4 women, and he had one of the women's body parts in his hand.
Yeah, that's how you convince them that you're not lying.
Yeah. Another potential person of interest.
If I'm not mistaken, it was a piece of a breast.
See, I couldn't ever find out. One said they thought it was a hand, but I was like, no. And it ain't a head, or they would have said it was a head, but that makes more sense that they would try to keep that out of the.
Yeah. From what my research said, it was a breast.
A breastises.
Yeah.
Not one of them KFC breastises either.
No.
Now, he was another potential person of interest, but not really. I mean, he kind of was a serial killer and liked to pick up hitchhikers and prostitutes at truck stops and the like, and he was a long-haul trucker. None of that would fold into Karen's life. I was trying to see here.
Yeah, just don't match up. The MO don't match up. He's driving a truck, and this is a car,
Yeah, it just doesn't. I mean, I know everything that happens, you're kind of like, but yeah, this one doesn't even pass the smell test.
Right.
Now, one of the big reasons people point back to Robert Durst as a suspect is because he definitely resembles that composite sketch. Around 2015, when the documentary Jinx airs, Karen's case hit the news again. This time, the newly appointed chief of police in Eureka quietly reopened her case. Quote, "The Mitchell investigation has become reinvigorated and active," end quote. While the chief was unable to identify any new evidence that might lead to Robert Durst, he did state, quote, "Mr. Durst is in the mix as a suspect," end quote. The investigator that worked Karen's case for years, a man named Dave Parris, stated that detectives initially ruled Durst out because he was believed to be out of town at the time Karen went missing. Detective Parris also noted that other cases that Durst is connected to only involve people that he knew rather than complete strangers. In an article from 2021, law enforcement stated that though Durst's direct connection to Karen Mitchell's disappearance has never been substantiated, Patrick O'Neill with the Eureka police have investigated the situation several times over the years. According to Mr. O'Neill, quote, "At this time, we have not found any credible link between Mitchell's disappearance and Mr. Durst. However, until Karen's located, we will not rule out any possibility," end quote. If you did not know who Robert Durst was, he was a grade A POS. The whole documentary, The Jinx, came out and kind of thrust this whole thing, one of the greater true crime victories, I guess.
Yeah, and he got caught because he's so stupid he didn't realize his mic was still on, and he freaking goes to pee and like talking to himself.
Yeah,
and confesses.
He was sentenced.
Like, what an idiot!
Yeah, what's cool, I don't know if it's cool, but the aha moment for that whole documentary is it was like they didn't realize that his mic was still on, and they were trying to wrap up the whole production and left his mic on, and it was like an assistant producer or sound engineer that heard something and was like, "What the heck is that?" And they turned the volume up and then heard him say that, and it was still being recorded too. That was another, lucky break there. And when they went back and listened to it, they were like, "Holy shit, did he just confess?"
He did. He sure enough did.
He sure did. Now, Durst was sentenced to life without parole in October of 2021 for the first-degree murder of his longtime friend, Susan Berman. And if you have not seen The Jinx, it's worth it. It is
worth the listen.
It's made by them folks over at HBO. He would pass away in prison in the state of California at the ripe old age of 78, and he looked like Fido's ass right there before he passed. He was gaunt and on oxygen. Now,
as he should be.
Oh, I agree. I'm not feeling sorry for his nasty ass one bit, but Karen's mom and brother James do not believe she ran away. Her mother stated, quote, "I'm not chasing a body, I'm chasing a person," end quote.
Right. I don't think she ran away either.
No.
No way.
Now, a lead surfaced that involved two sisters who saw Mary, her mother, on, this is a throwback, the Sally Jesse Raphael show.
Oh, God, that is a throwback.
They called in to say that they had been asked for money by a girl answering, and this is what I don't understand. They said answering to Karen's description in Tempe, Arizona. That makes no sense to my little pea brain. Do they mean that she was answering to her name or that she looked like? We can't have her answering to a description.
Right.
I'm not the poetic Grammy Award winning person here, but them apples don't go with them oranges. So the family travels out to Tempe in the summer of 2001. While they are there, they speak with the large transient population, and upon getting back to their motel, they speak with the manager, who had just made small talk and was asking, "Hey, what y'all doing in town? You gonna do any sightseeing?" And they kind of was like, "No, we're looking for our missing daughter / sister." So they tell him, "Hey, her name's Karen," show him a picture, and he explains that they may have luck at one of these teenage hangouts around Tempe. So they head off there, and while they're showing her picture to some local kids that they had found, a couple of them was like, "Yeah, she does look familiar," and some were saying, "No, she doesn't." But while they're doing this, Mary gets a phone call from the motel manager, and he says, "Hey, I think Karen's here."
Whoa, wow.
Yeah, so they haul tail back to the motel. Mary stated, quote, "I could not breathe the entire ride over," end quote. James stated that he was almost about to faint. The motel manager, when they come into the lobby, insisted before they moved any further that they needed to call the police, and they did. So when the authorities arrived, they knock on the motel door to see if Karen, in air quotes, was there. Now, Mary and James are waiting in a car in the parking lot. Now, for those of you that don't know what the difference between motel and hotel is, probably don't remember how we have described going to jail and going to prison. A motel, your door opens up to the parking lot. A hotel, you have to walk down a corridor and take an elevator to get you a car. So they're in the parking lot. They see the door open. Police officers are standing there. They're talking with someone inside said motel room. The girl stepped out, and unfortunately, it was not Karen. The young lady walked by the officers and straight up headed to Mary, because I guess the officers were like, hey, we just needed to check. And in one of the most kind acts that I have read about in a while in a true crime disappearance or murder, she walks up to Mary and she is got tears in her eyes, and she says, quote, I am so sorry for what you're going through, and hugged her and wished her the best. I have no idea who this young lady was, but kudos to you, ma'am. Now, we have to circle back. Let's circle back to Wayne Adam Ford, who walked into the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office with the breastises in his hand, confessing to 4 murders. Mary, just something didn't sit right, and her motherly intuition kind of was gnawing at her, and so she reaches back out to Detective Paris and asked him to, quote, be brutally honest with me about how you felt Ford was as a suspect. Detective Paris explains that he had actually gave Ford a polygraph test and he passed it. And he tells Mary unequivocally, look, this guy didn't do it. Mary's still not quite satisfied. She reaches out, makes contact with Ford, and she feels like maybe there's a small chance if he's diabolical, if he's just, can flip a switch, maybe he...
Well, he is a serial killer.
Right. Maybe he could have, manipulated said outcome of polygraph. So she does make, like I said, contact with him, sets up a visit, heads to the Southern California prison where he was being held in the summer of 2000. She gets one of her sisters to go with her, and she speaks to Ford directly, even though they're probably through a sheet of plexiglass, but she is face-to-face with this piece of shit. And she shows him a photograph of Karen, and this sick bastard says, quote, she looks like she could be one of mine, end quote. Oof. And Karen said, this was a surreal moment in my life. Ford goes on to tell her that if she would write him after she left, he would be more than willing to extend that communication and get her some more information. And so she smells a rat, and she's like, nope, I ain't playing your little jailhouse games. And for her, Ford's out of the whole thing. And he was just being a huge piece of shit and wanting someone to be his little pen pal. So on the, I think, was it a Medium? No, The Guardian. The Guardian did a big article on this story, I think on one of the anniversaries. And both Mary and James were interviewed, and they agreed the link to Robert Durst is hypothetical, but they appreciated the renewed interest that his arrest had brought to Karen's disappearance. Mary told The Guardian that, quote, we haven't been able to rule him out. My gut is telling me there's a 50-50 chance that he could be involved, end quote. She did state that her and James had certainly been in touch with the authorities, that things have heated up on Karen's case, but they're not going to divulge what they know. Quote, people often think that the family must be desperate for answers, but I don't know if I do or not, end quote. James stated, quote, unless it's a good closure, there's still some small chance that she did go into some other form of life or the Peace Corps, or she ran away to start over, or she will come back someday. Part of me wants to know, and part of me really doesn't want to know, end quote. Mary echoed James's sentiments and said, quote, we can't have both. We can't have closure without details, and that leaves us with a missing persons poster. Bits of a story being attached to another very tragic, never-ending story, end quote. Now, a $20,000 reward for information that leads to Karen's recovery is being offered. If you have information, please call the Eureka Police Department at 774-414-4060, Or you can also call in to the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department at 707-416-7251. There is a Facebook page called Remembering Karen Mitchell, which I'm going to try to share that, but sharing those remembrance pages is fairly difficult. I may just, if I can get the link off the interwebs, I may try to share the link. But on that page, every year people post things to keep the page active. A comment left by Mary from a few years ago that I saw said, quote, "Another year gone without you. I miss you more every day. I know you're in my heart, and I know you know how much I love you. I honor and celebrate you today and every day. Until we meet again, my sweet baby girl." And I can't imagine, man.
I can't either. It's sounding to me like a crime of opportunity, though.
It does. The way it.
Like somebody just stumbled upon her.
Well, maybe he was trolling her, like, "Hey, girl, you need a ride. Hey, girl, you need a ride." And then.
Yeah, something like that. I mean.
Now, that Peace Corps comment came from somebody had said that she had looked into the Peace Corps as an alternative to college, but that's all they ever said. So I don't know if.
Yeah, but do you think she just didn't seem like from what, again, we don't know her. Anything's possible, but from what we were reading, it just sounds like she was happy. She's not the type of person that's just going to run away from her family.
Right. She was planning on graduating high school early so that she could pursue one of those two areas that she was looking at. And it sounded like she was probably going into law school and going to major in, her expertise would have been like environmental law, and that was something close to her. She doesn't, the family doesn't have anything that was like, she was hanging out with the wrong crowd again here. Yeah, it does. If that whole thing, and that's the thing, like everything you read about this case, that could be absolutely unrelated to the case. That could have been a girl that was not even her, and she just walked out of her aunt's shoe store and vanished.
Right. I mean, she had to go somewhere. You can't just vanish.
True.
But it's not sounding like somebody that's running away. Not at all to me. Not at all. So there has to be an explanation.
You're right, but I mean, man, this thing, there was an article. Let's see if I can pull it back up. It was, what's this damn thing called? The Red-Headed Black Belt, News, Nature, and Community Throughout the Emerald Triangle. I think it has nothing to do with what I just read you as the web address. The web address is KYMKEMP.com. And if you scroll down about right where they're asking you for money to keep the page alive, there's a search box. And if you type in Karen Mitchell, there's 4 or 5 articles. One of them is by Matt Lefevre. They give Robert Durst's mugshot from the Galveston police, and then a little bit further down you can see the wanted poster. And I'm gonna tell you something, man, that composite of that driver. Can you even join the Peace Corps at 16? Are they just gonna take a 16-year-old? I don't know. Hold on. Hey Siri, can I join the Peace Corps at 16? She said there's nobody calling, so don't worry about it. Hold on. Let me get my glasses. Let's see since Siri's being an ass, let's see what this old grok says. Can I join Peace Corps at 16? Send it. No,
at least 18.
No, Coach, you cannot. You have to be a minimum of 18 years old.
There you go. You must also meet specific education, professional experience, medical, and legal requirements.
But there's
So,
no
no.
upper age limit. Like you could go volunteer right now if you wanted to.
Might. Who knows?
Sail the seven seas as a member of the Peace Corps.
Is that really the song?
No, I just made that up on the fly.
Oh, good, because it's terrible.
Like, it's terrible. It's just terrible. Thanks, man. I was really working on that.
That's terrible.
Terrible. Do I have that?
I think we do. Yeah, we should. Why wouldn't we?
I don't think we do.
Yeah, we.
Oh, we
should.
do. We do.
That's terrible.
There we go. So, I have no idea, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like there's just not enough information out there. I tried to look on Web Sleuths, and you got to get real specific to get her name to come up, and it's only, I think it's on one of those, like, unsolved cases of California. This is just, there's not a lot of information, and, I mean, I can understand why people don't know about this case just based on that. And I guess there's a whole lot more on that other girl from San Francisco because of that one podcast that did multiple episodes on her. So,
Well, to me, I'm telling you, it just sounds like it was really, truly just a crime of opportunity. I don't think anybody was stalking her. I don't think this was premeditated. I think somebody saw her, picked her up, took advantage, and unfortunately, she's not with us anymore.
yeah, it's just, I wish something would kind of shake loose and give this family some closure. But like Coach said, we really don't have anything to go on. Like you said, crime of opportunity. So recommendations, I really don't have one. I've not watched anything. I kind of took the whole week off since we were gearing up for a break, and we're recording this on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. I guess my recommendation would be to just go for it, man. Go straight for the dessert table Thursday. Fuck that turkey, man. Just go get the brownies and the pies and just get you into the sugar coma.
Well, since it is Thanksgiving, and you're right, I have not watched many things or done many things this week either, but if I'm assuming this is going to be a bad recommendation because I'm assuming every single person that's going to listen to this has seen this already. If you haven't, you need to ask yourself why. But my favorite Thanksgiving movie is, of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. If you haven't ever seen that, do yourself a favor and watch it. It is a classic. Absolute classic. I love John Candy. He is missed every day.
Yes, he is.
It is such a good, it is not only hilarious, but it's heartfelt, and it's just a great movie. It is a quintessential 80s movie.
Somebody in one of my classes said something. I was like, y'all never seen Uncle Buck, The Great Outdoors? And they were like, no.
My God.
I'm like,
Great Outdoors. Yeah, make it a double feature. Get you some Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and then get you some Great Outdoors. That is a great movie.
they take the hide right off that bear's ass.
The old 96er. He's not done yet.
7 times 70.
66 times.
Oh man!
Yeah, watch that movie. I love that movie. I love John Candy. Anything John Candy's in, I'm going to watch.
Except that last one, man. That last one was not very good.
Which one, Wagons East or Canadian Bacon?
Wagons East.
Yeah, it wasn't his best, but, he died for it, so we might as well celebrate it.
I didn't say I didn't watch it. I just said it wasn't one of his best. Now, Uncle Buck making pancakes with that snow shovel, that's what I strive for right there, buddy.
I mean, come on, Spaceballs? That is oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
They're making Spaceballs too.
Yes, they are. I
John
wonder.
Candy's son is playing John Candy's part, or the son of John Candy's part in that movie.
They said they were going to use sound clips for, what's her name? The C-3PO. What's her name?
Joan Rivers?
Yeah, Joan Rivers.
Dot Matrix.
Dot Matrix. The radar's been jammed.
Oh, man. That's such a good movie. Rick Moranis is so good, too.
You talk about somebody that said, "No, man, I'm gonna go be a daddy." And
Yeah.
he did, buddy.
Gave up a Hollywood career to be a dad. That's
But he had like what? He had all the Shrunk, Exploded, Raised, Made Big. He had that one, and he had what was the Blue something where he's the FBI agent and
My Blue Heaven.
Yeah, My Blue Heaven,
which is the unofficial sequel to Goodfellas. Did you know that?
Yes, I had heard that.
Because when the guy that wrote Goodfellas was writing the book about Henry Hill, his wife was also taking notes about his stuff after he was in witness protection and wrote My Blue Heaven. It's really crazy. The Steve Martin character in My Blue Heaven is the Ray Liotta character in Goodfellas. That is a true story.
100%. You can fact check that, boys.
Just because one of them's a comedy and one of them's not,
don't mean they ain't the same.
don't mean they ain't the same.
Don't take kind of law around here. That's another good movie you should watch.
Oh, absolutely. Tombstone's a great one.
All right.
Probably the most quotable movie ever made.
Of course.
Name me one movie more quotable than that.
Smokey and the Bandit, but I don't know a whole lot of it, and you've only watched it once, so we can't quote anything.
I've seen it twice now.
I will say that.
Feel.
I will say that the other, since we're talking about movies, the other one, Chuck Ball used to bring this one up all the time, was Cannonball Run and Cannonball Run 2. Just the amount of shenanigans in those movies, the outtakes, man. If I'm having a bad day, I'll go look up those Dom DeLuise outtakes on that. Yes. God, they are hilarious.
The amount of cocaine consumed on that movie set had to be astronomical.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Do you know there is a Hollywood producer that was asked that question? He said, what movie had the most drug use in your experience? And he said, without a doubt, can you guess? Let's see if you can guess it.
What, Hollywood? So back in around Cannonball Run?
Yeah, what?
Oh, shit.
Let's say 70s movie or any movie. They asked him any movie he had ever been on. This movie is, I think, the 70s or early 80s.
Man, I'm horrible with movies. Let
me look it up real quick so I can tell you.
Talk amongst your friends, girls. He's going to be right back. He's getting a drink.
It's a 1980 movie, so I give you a little bit of time frame. But he said, without question, the most cocaine consumed on a movie set that he had ever seen in his entire life. He said it wasn't even close.
Was?
You got to guess.
I don't know anything from 1980.
The movie Popeye.
Well, that makes sense. I should have went with Robin. I should have said Robin Williams. Any movie with Robin Williams in it, but I agree.
He said that's what he said. He said they asked him. He said, "Oh, without question, it's Popeye." Like he didn't even have to think about it.
Who else was in that besides Robin Williams that would have been snorting the old booger sugar?
He said everybody, but hold on, let me.
What's her name was in it from The Shining?
Shelley Duvall.
Who played Brutus? Bluto. Shit.
Paul L. Smith played Bluto.
I don't remember him.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
He was an actor, though, because he was in movies.
No shit.
He was in Midnight Express. He was in Dune. He was in Red Sonja. Anyway, who else? Nobody I've heard of.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't do very well either.
It was a character named Poop Deck Pappy, though.
Oh, Poop Deck Pappy. Yeah.
But no, he said without a shadow of a doubt it was that movie that they just snorting it day and night. Well, that's good though. But now it's a horror movie. If you look into it, they made a Popeye horror movie.
Yeah, but they chased the urban. Is that true of why he? Is that the backstory of the original, or this is a rabbit hole internet theory?
What are you talking about?
The dark side of Popeye.
What are you talking about though? That there was an actual Popeye?
No, they're saying that the cartoon was made out of, you know how like the Grimm tales, some of those are kind of really twisted and dark. That this was just a dark thing, but I just think sometimes the internet has a little bit too much time on its hands. But anyway,
I think you are insane.
I will find it and I'll send it to you.
I'm looking it up right now.
Peckerwood. Well,
he appeared first in January 17th, 1929 in a comic strip for the Thimble Theater.
well, I know that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that original one was. I'm saying that somebody had too much booger sugar and thinks it's a dark story, and then they've run with it and they've got a little bit of traction on the internet.
No, they're crazy as hell.
Well, I know that. Hell. Well, do you have anything else?
It's not based on nobody.
You got anything else there, Slapnut?
I'm frustrated at how fucking stupid the internet can be.
Well, it can be. It is. But it
Bro,
also can be the greatest thing ever.
Our new dog, our new little puppy just pisses everywhere, buddy. Like, our whole damn house is one big pee pad at this point.
Just got them everywhere.
We can't get this little son of a bitch to use the pads right.
Bet you catch him.
She's vindictive, man. You make her mad and delete anything, she'll look you dead in the eyes and pee right in front of you.
Oh, she's one of them.
Any slight, anything she sees is a slight. Oh, you only gave me a scoop and a half of food, not two? Piss. You took the big dog out before me? Okay, piss.
Dang.
Oh, you ate a bite of food without giving me any? Piss. It's just driving it's driving me insane.
God, that's the worst, man, because I can't stand it. We got talking this morning duck hunting about how when the guy I went with, when his lab finally passes away, he's not getting any more dogs. And I'm like, man, I'm not getting another one either. I said, I can't take it. I'm not taking it no more. But anyway, all right, Coach.
If I ever get a dog after these two dogs, if I ever get another dog, which I will, it's going to be 5 years or older. It can't be. I'm not getting a puppy. No more puppies. I'm done.
Agreed.
Done with puppies.
I'm with you. Signed, sealed, delivered.
I want a damn dog that's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Live some life, and just
smoked unfiltered right there with me.
Be like, I don't need to be walked, old man. We can just,
You just let me.
Let's watch Justified again.
All right, ladies and gents, y'all be good. Have a good turkey day. We will catch you on the flip side. Deuces.